Hello, hello, hello. Hope everybody is doing well. Happy CPI Day. Happy Thursday. Thank you guys so much for being here. My name is Max. I'm the CEO because Bitcoin, and today we're here with Tucker as well. I think that Will's Outlook is going to be joining us shortly. He was just taking care of a little bit of business. Unfortunately, Tommy will not be able to join us today, but we are going to do our best to put the team on our back and carry the show nonetheless. So, guys, if you are new here, thank you so much. We are Because Bitcoin. We host this show called Market Check every single day. Please consider liking and subscribing. And, we're just going to have some fun, talk charts, talk price action, talk trading. But yeah, Tucker, let me ask you this just to start, man. That background of yours looks pretty ominous, pretty dark. What is that?
Awfully gloomy.
Movie?
Awfully. Yeah. I honestly don't know what movie it's from, but
I think
it's obviously
from
just the.
It looks like that 2012 movie, like The End of the World.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's basically the darkness and disaster picture from CT. Basically, is what it is. But that's the sentiment that I'd like to express sitting here at 29.5. So yeah, that's what that's doing. But
yeah. All right. Well, let's do this, man. Let's throw your chart up and we'll start playing around, see what we can come up with. Been kind of a volatile morning. I mean, at least for the low time frame. It's been a little bouncy.
Yeah. So I guess, do you want to start with equities or no? You want to just do Bitcoin?
Yeah, I mean, let's do Bitcoin, and then we can play around with some alts as well. I got some alts that I'm watching pretty closely here.
Okay. So
I mean, that's a nasty little turnaround right there.
I know. So
yeah.
This white this value area high since moved up since last night, but I took this 29. It was about 29.9, right? I took this. I think I put the stop here, but this I was planning on taking down to 28K basically, right? And I saw that. Okay, so you're gonna have to bear with me, but this white line was like right here last night, and I saw it start bouncing, and I think it was like, I think it was one of these candles, because I was up pretty late doing a work call, as you know, but it was actually good because I closed out the whole short right here, so made a little bit of money on it. But I was hoping to get back in somewhere around, where is it? And there it is. Yeah, somewhere around this this value area low, which would have been a great entry. Unfortunately, I did not. When did that even happen? That happened this morning. I should have been on that, man. I should have been on that. But I think we're in for lower, right? I think we're gonna have some shenanigans today, right? We're gonna have the CPI minutes come out. We're gonna have Powell talk. So, you never really know what's gonna happen. We're probably gonna get some sort of whipsaw. So, I'll probably again get the chance to get in maybe around like 29,650-ish. But that would have been just a beautiful short at 29,750. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. Let's see. Oh, we were looking at this yesterday, just like this. I think we're on the 1 hour, maybe. Just, just a classic little double top pattern, little lower high. Bitcoin likes to print it on these wicks, man. And it's such a meme, like the whole double top thing. But I mean, it's been doing it at the highs. So we've already gotten a move down, right? We've already, like, these moves down have not been massive. Obviously, we've still been like in this range, but I mean, this one was like 5%, I guess. But most of these moves were like, about 5%. I guess maybe we can maybe we can extrapolate a little bit. So what's 5%? Just range lows, man. Just back to range lows. What do you know? So I don't know. I definitely still expect at least range lows. I would like to go test 28K, 27.8, something like that. But yeah, that's where I'm at. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll say this, man. Like, Bitcoin feels pretty heavy here. I don't put too much weight into like this little, this little kind of like chop that we're seeing right now. I mean, it was like a sharp little low time frame rejection, but it is also CPI day, and maybe it's just a double whipsaw or something like that. It does fit my bias though. Like, it feels pretty heavy here. And I mean, truthfully, like the levels that I would consider maybe looking for like a turnaround or looking for long, if we are going to be bullish here, would probably be like 29.2 down to 29. I think we should hold that. That's a level that for the bulls they really need to hold. We've got like a 4-hour demand there as well. So that's the level for me. Like, I don't really see a reason to bid right here necessarily, unless you're just scalping and you're looking to be in and out within like a really 5-minute time frame or something like that. But also at the same time, I mean, I dropped a video on this yesterday. Actually, yeah, let me see if I can share my screen here real quick.
We have the doctor.
We got the doctor of all outlooks, the only PhD in the room, valedictorian of his class, graduating with honors in the study of outlookology, Dr. Will's Outlook, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see if I can get my trading view up here. So I want to talk about this here. So actually, let me remove this. We don't need this right now. But I wanted to.
Let's make sure we get to this at some point. This guy's asking about Sol. But
oh yeah. Actually, that's interesting. I'm in a Sol trade right now, so I'd be more than happy to talk about it. All right, here's what's concerning for me, and it decides if you want to view the glass half full or half empty, right? But save all your fancy order flow, save all your open interest, perpetual futures data, everything. In order to be successful in this market, all you need is just a diagonal line like this. I mean, this is unbelievable, right? All you've had to do this entire time. Hang on, Will. I'm not. You're the glass half full. I'm not. I might need to give the glass half empty. All you've had to do so far is just long this diagonal trend line, right? Like the most left curve elementary form of TA. One point that's slightly concerning for me is like, off of this move, crazy explosive. Off of this move, explosive, not as much as this one. This one has been relatively muted so far. I kind of view it like a bouncy ball. First bounce is the biggest, and we're slowly sort of running out of momentum. All right.
And then we do the first bounce all over again.
Hang on now.
No, but see, to Max's point, it's got to be today or tomorrow, or you know what I mean? Like, it's got to happen.
It's got to be relatively soon. Yeah.
Now, I know that this is not allowed on CT. You'll be crucified if you post anything like this. All right. But you know damn well, if you were looking at this chart and it looked like this
I would expect rejection.
All right, hang on. All right, my screen is frozen right now. My screen's frozen. Let me find it. You know damn well.
You're good.
You know damn well that if we were looking at a chart like this, most of CT would be doing this. Oh, look at this. Sweep of the low, bull trap. Oh, when we break this line, it's over for the bears, man. Bull market initiated. We're going to go to all-time highs. You'd see charts like this from everybody. But you're not allowed to draw that on CT. The chart doesn't look like this. The chart looks like this. All right. Now, I'm not going to say that we're going to go make a new low because I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily carry any short that low. All I'd like to point out is this is such a significant trend line. Like, as goofy and as elementary as it is, it carries a lot of weight. All right. given the reactions that we've had off of it now numerous times, eventually it's going to break, right? Like either it's going to be explosive up, explosive down, or just chop, but eventually we'll run out of time, we'll run out of space, and we'll just work our way over here, right? But I'm inclined to believe that since it's prompted such large bounces in the past, a break of this line would probably lead to a flush, then a retest, and then we reevaluate up here. If you can tuck back inside up here, then it's a big deviation. If not, then you can look for some sort of retest. But I would say, like, again, as simple as this trend line is, like, it carries so much significance right now. It really does. There was a question about Sol. I'd like to talk about Sol. Who said that? There was a.
Oh, you don't want to talk about Bitcoin no more?
No, I want to talk about Bitcoin.
You don't.
I want to talk about Bitcoin. All right. Thoughts on Sol. We're going to do Sol real quick. Actually, well, let's talk about Bitcoin, man. Remy, we're going to talk about Sol in just a minute because I do have some thoughts on Sol. I'm actually in a Sol trade right now. I'd be more than happy to kind of walk through my thoughts there. But yeah, Will, what do you got for me, man? Because I'm looking at this and I can spot with absolute clarity. We've got daily time frame supply up here, this big block right here. And I mean, look, if you're just using your eyes, right? Like huge, slowly, zero.
I mean,
Will.
Zero.
Arguably, we're kind of so your first pump there wasn't as much as your second pump, right? So this is very indicative of an Elliott wave pattern. So you got your first, your second, and your third.
Will,
Your
that's
third
propaganda.
Your third needs to exceed your second. So we need to go higher. It's just what it is, regardless of whether we traded sideways
Need
or
is a
not.
very funny word, Will. I would press you politely there and say, need. We don't need to do anything. You would want us to go up.
I'll give some nuances to the conversation. All right. Nuances to the conversation are that arguably, as long as you hold trend, we need to go higher. Arguably, if you break trend, now you question whether that was the top, right? And I would say those are your two nuanced situations. So that gives you the bull and bear case. If this was inverted, I would expect rejection. If this was is exactly the way it is, I would expect a bounce, right? As long as the bounce plays, you need to play bullish. If the bounce fails, then you can play bearish. But ultimately, exactly what you showed there, right? If we break, we will more than likely retest if the trend is going to switch. If the trend's not going to switch, we'll puke below the range, deviate, and then roll back through it. So those are kind of the two scenarios that you're looking at here, right? I don't think we see a deviation just yet. I just don't, because you gotta keep those longs trapped. You got to keep those longs coming in. Keep in mind, Elliott waves, in a sense, is more or less just a way to trap liquidity. That's all it is. It's a bigger trap of a half circle. You're only seeing the front half of the circle. The second half of the circle comes later, and that's your roll back down to revisit the low of the circle, right? It's kind of like this big curve that nobody sees coming. It's a slow moving train. You can see it coming at you. It's moving 5 miles per hour, but for some reason you can't get your eyes off the train and you can't get off the tracks, and eventually it runs you over. And that's how these things work. That's how Elliott wave works. A lot of people think that impulse wave theory is fast moves. It is fast moves into a bigger half circle that rolls back.
I've seen some Elliott waves that take Bitcoin to obscene numbers. Will, obscene.
I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those people. You already know that, though. You already know that. Look.
No, I know you're not. I know you're not.
Yeah, Elliott wave is not meant to tell you guys, hey, we're going to 130K. There's no effing way you can justify that as an Elliott wave. And the reason why is because you're speculating. You're speculating price. You need to stay within the boundaries of current price action. And that's what I'm doing with this whole thesis here, is I'm staying within the boundaries of current price action. I'm not going way out there and telling you guys, hey, next year, Elliott wave is telling me that we're going to 250,000 Bitcoin, $250,000 per Bitcoin. I'm not going to tell you that because it's obscene. It's just dumb.
Mhm.
It's a bad take, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Will some people do it? Yeah, but I think they do it for clicks and likes. I don't think there's any
Mhm.
real substance to the conversation when they're talking about shit like that.
Yeah, no,
Um,
Will, I would love 36K, honestly. 36K would be fantastic. So
Yeah, I mean, again, this isn't me coming in and hoping for price. It's expectations as long as trend holds. If trend breaks, I'm obviously going to switch my expectations, and we'll see how it plays out. That's just what it
So
is.
Will,
I
for
move
you,
with the market.
if this line breaks right here, our diagonal line breaks,
Body candles
are you
below.
bearish?
Yep. Body candles below. Yeah.
on the daily or what time frame?
Weekly. I like weekly.
On the weekly.
Yeah.
Okay. Draw it on the weekly, Max.
The weekly would be that would look horrible weekly if it broke below, right?
Yeah.
That would arguably be a clear break in structure, clear invalidation of more uptrend.
I mean, it's holding its trend right now.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, look, here's my look here. Here's ultimately like the the bull level would be like a retest of this up here. Like this is a really hot level. Retesting this entire base up here. And at the same time, here, let me just remove all my bear.
The funny part is, Max, is the minute you visit that, all the bears are looking for the top end of that range. Or not bears, but bulls. Bulls are looking for the top end of that range. Realistic people in the market are looking for the bottom of that range. Right? Because you're going to tap liquidity and reject.
Here's the bull case, man. I can be impartial. Here's the bull case. This level right here was our range low for so long on Bitcoin. All right. This was such a pronounced range low right here, this level. Here, 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 we finally break. Look what happens. Right. So right now, technically we've come back and we are in fact holding support. All right. We
even
have
on horizontals.
And if we are going to move up, this would be our new range high. This would be range low. Mid range would be somewhere around here, So like if we are going to hold, and again, we need to hold, like we're holding it for now, but it hasn't exactly been explosive. These are definitely like, this could be our new range up here, being completely honest. By the way, I'm not ruling that out even for later this year. Like I actually think we could do something like this, by the way. Like, okay, so can you guys see this? Okay, I'm trying to fit as much of the chart in here as I possibly can.
The whole thing. That's good.
Okay. So here would be like an ideal scenario for me. All right. We would come back. So we would basically like break this trend line right here. Okay. Let me just make this a little smaller, just temporary, right? Because it would get a lot of people really bearish saying like Bitcoin's going to 8K, whatever. Okay. So if we lose this, we come down, actually deviate deep below here. This serves basically as a giant bear trap right here. We get the pre-halving dip that Tucker's focused on. Bear trap. Let's move that to the bottom. And then this is where you bid. And then before the 2024 halving, we get a move up, and then maybe you come up here, and we're kind of just like ranging up in here, going into, the halving, which is going to be right around here. And we're just sitting at like, 30 some K, but you got your, your pre-halving dip that we've, again, has happened every single time right here. And that would be, potentially from here, 25, not bad. So maybe we could go down here 30%, like 20, never below 20 again kind of thing. But I actually don't think that would be a bad scenario, So it's like, Will, you could certainly be right. And, maybe this happens, maybe it doesn't. But I mean, it would certainly trap a whole bunch of people, but for right now, like you technically are correct, Will, like it is holding not just horizontal trend right here, like multi-year range low, potential reclaim right here. Like we're holding it, and we're holding the diagonal trend that I just deleted. But But if we lose it, then I think you start talking about sub 25K, but that's a dip for bidding, in my opinion, especially if it happens like within the next month, because then you still have the election coming up, and you historically, you get a nice dip before the halving, and that's historically again been a dip for bidding. So
now let me just give you a little bit of thesis to my thought, because I think that's the normie play. I think a lot of people are looking for that play, and they're all trying to play into that play. I think it's more of a half circle, right? So we come up, and here's the thing too. I don't think the intention here is to trap bears. I think the intention here is to trap bulls before they trap bears, right? And how do they do that? Well, they roll this thing back, right? And they come back later, just not yet. So it could be Q1, Q2, we get that rollback of next year and not actually in the year, right? I think there'll be a dip in the end of the year, like for more or less for tax loss harvesting, like we discussed. But I think this is more like if you were to draw like a circular top here, Max, and let's say you try and cross that 36K and roll back to 25K. If you could do that real quick. From where we kind of began at the top of that first impulse.
I got you.
So just try and draw a circle across, as if you're trying to get the third. No, other way. Yep. Just like that. And I think that is more of what they're going for, right? So they're going for that play versus the normie pull back into end of year and then take off. I think it's going to be circular back and then take off. If you look at Bitcoin, that's precisely what Bitcoin did at the top. Even if you take both the double top there and drew a circle across both double tops, you would have one big circle.
Do you think
there it is? That's pretty.
I don't know about that.
that's your circle right there, brother.
I think you stop at 25.
Circle, Will. I delivered, man.
It's a circle.
25, bro.
Double bottom.
Oh man.
Asking
but
you shall
either way you're getting a pump. That's what I'm saying. Either way you're getting a pump. But put that same circle on top of Bitcoin in 2021. So the one you got there, can you copy that? That half circle?
Of course.
And then put it on top of 2021. Now try and drag it across both tops, as if they were one circle. Do you see it?
Do you see?
Do you see it?
Do you see? Yes, I do.
Things are a lot easier than what people actually think they are, man. They really are. Except instead of dropping down below that half circle, we inverse. We go up. Right? So see how we had the puke event after that half circle? You had the puke, the retest of the half circle, and then the drop. Now we come back, we get that half circle, and we get the puke to the upside. That's your pump.
Puke to the upside.
So if you were to take if you were to take that downtrend and inverse it on where we are now, the whole downtrend from 2021 to 2022.
Tell me where to start.
69K. Yep.
All the way until where we are right now.
No. I guess we could, but yeah, right there. Let's go right there. And then inverse that. Nope. No. And just inverse it. I guess
I'm doing
good. All right. And then put that at 25K.
25K?
As the bottom.
He's saying after
on the other side. After the drop in the 25K.
Right.
To the right.
To the right, Max. To the right.
Right more. Right more. Right there. Now, and then you were to extend that exponentially, I think you're going to go up to probably like 90 to 100, right? I think it's going to be something like that. That's your inversion.
Now run the trend line on the tops, 64, 69K top. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Bang.
There it is.
There it is.
All right, so do we want my bear trap first, man? Do we want to do this and then recover and then boom?
I mean,
Do we
it
want
could
that?
happen there, or it could go up to 69 and then run the top all the way back down.
Okay,
Continuing to
I see.
trap
So
bulls.
you think that we're in September of 2021 is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm talking about, Max? You see where September is? Go to September of 21. He thinks no, right. September. Right in there. No. Yeah. No.
You think we get this?
We're gonna get the parabola.
September, right in there. That's where he thinks we are.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Let's try it out.
And we've already had, you could call it 3 drives, you know. I don't know.
Something like that. We can go with something like that. But like that's expectations. We've already started to move into the pullback. We're gonna get that last trap, man.
I don't know if I can get behind the idea of us like peaking this close after a halving. I mean, I guess it's possible.
Tommy thinks we peaked before the halving.
Yeah.
That's wild. All right, let's talk about Sol quick. We had a question about Sol. And a little comment for me, wasn't Max bearish at the bottom? Something, the trap door was going to open. Isn't this an inverse indicator right now if he is bearish right now? No, Dylan. Well, I mean, I guess how could you not be super bearish as price is capitulating from 69K to 16, which I shorted a majority of the way down and actually ended up with more money at the low than at the high, funny enough. But no, I was not bearish at the bottom, my man. I was trading within that bottom range. You know, I took longs and shorts, but no, I did not. I sold a lot of my spot Bitcoin and ETH like right in here, and I've actually outperformed Bitcoin all year handsomely, dabbling on chain and actually just trading actively. So it's worked out pretty well for me. Let's talk about Sol, man. Let's talk about Sol. I got some thoughts on Sol.
Soul's in your soul. I'm just joking. That's a dad joke. My bad.
No, I appreciate, as a new dad, man, I appreciate that. All right, we're gonna start high time frame here on Sol. Pretty clear level right here, 25, 26. Pretty clear level. So let's move down a little bit. Let's take a look at what's going on. This is kind of my thoughts here, honestly, man. Like, I view this as potential supply. Like if it's gonna go above this line right here, like if we get above this supply, in my opinion, then I think you're opening the door to like taking out this wick, moving back up here.
Up only.
You kind of, in order to keep the downtrend intact, you kind of need to hold this level. And I would also think that you probably, you know, if we do come back down, you know, this is probably an area I would expect to bounce right here. Like I would expect, you know, something like this, and you would bid that and then potentially higher. So yeah, we'll see. Confluence that I have, I was actually watching Sol BTC earlier. Kind of same thing. Sol BTC on, you know, the daily time frame's actually been looking pretty decent here. But yeah, let's see. So I mean, it's kind of looking like it's coming into supply again right here. So this is Sol BTC. So Sol has been, you know, outperforming Bitcoin, but really shouldn't get much past there. So if you're bearish Bitcoin and you think that Bitcoin's going to go down here, you know, it's certainly possible that, you know, Sol BTC moves up a little bit, you know, and maybe when that move starts, you do something like this, or it could turn around here, who knows? But, you know, I'm looking at this going, yeah, you know, if I'm not really that bullish on Sol unless we can start chopping into this level, you know. I just can't really be. So yeah, I'm thinking on Sol potentially. Like if the short does work out, let's remove this here. I think there's a pretty like obvious channel here as well. where I kind of look at it
Let me ask you an interesting question. Let's say so you're shorting Soul, right? Let's tell the audience how we would hedge. Oh, okay. So let's.
I might be short. I might be long. I don't know.
What I meant by that is let's tell the audience like how will we hedge that position if we were short Soul?
The short is the hedge, brother. The short is the hedge.
Well, I can tell you right now that I think a good hedge would be if you're shorting something like Sol or Matic on perps and you want to create a relatively delta neutral strategy, you could probably pick up some spot Doge or something like that, or maybe like something on chain that's been running a little bit to kind of counteract that just a little bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty clear level for me. Like this is your rejection spot. You know, like if you're gonna move down, it's gonna be, you know, right around here. And Sol likes to kind of do this little pattern where, you know, it'll take like multiple stabs at the high kind of thing. So I mean, you can see like what it did over here, and it won't play out exactly like this, right? But I mean, you can see it takes multiple stabs at the high, pretty similarly to this. It can take a little while to start rolling over. But yeah, I mean, it's done the same thing over here. It likes to try to, you know, just keep pushing through, and you know, maybe we roll over. I don't know. I'm just because I think that Bitcoin's probably going to lose that trend line and break down. I think this is a pretty like safe RR. Like there's no free lunch, right? But you know,
I'm not gonna lie, like I'm pretty long, but like I like that. That's actually not a bad play at all. Like because you are forming lower highs, which makes sense, right?
I mean, dude, alts are just bleeding out, man. I think
yeah.
alts in general are gonna continue bleeding out.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad.
Against
like if
Bitcoin,
I would say if you're like long Bitcoin, this would be a good inversion. You know,
good
short Sol. Yeah,
especially with Sol BTC looking like it's approaching a turnaround point. You know, kind of right here. This would be the level I would expect a rejection at for Sol BTC, if not, you know, slightly before. It doesn't have to go exactly there. It could overshoot it. It could undershoot it, but like it's kind of coming into like this rejection area. You know, and this is a nice level, you know, right here. Like it could just be right here, from the low of this wick, or maybe even like this one, you know, because we shot down here. Oops, let me fix that. You know, we could already be there. You know, like we had this, you know, right here. So you know, this could be like our rejection spot. And if Bitcoin's going to break down here, which again you decide for yourself if it's going to. With Sol BTC potentially looking at, you know, facing a rejection, Sol USD kind of pushing up against supply. It's a good RR. Like if it does bleed down, like it's probably gonna continue this trend, right? So you've got, you know, lower high. Here's our low. Then
you're lower still
low,
lower highs and
lower high, lower low. Like this is our trend. You know, it's not a bad bet here for sure. You know, even if you're.
I've been bullish all year, Max, but like I like that play. I think
Max,
it's not
let me show you the best hedge in the market, and then I'll pass it back to you real quick.
And then after guys, that, somebody's asking about Doge.
If you are enjoying the stream, please consider liking the video. It does wonders for the algorithm. And thank you guys so much for spending your Thursday, your CPI day here with us. Me, Tucker, and Dr. Outlook, basically just charting away looking for plays. Oh, Tucker, I don't know who wants to see that, man. What is this?
I was waiting for him to look.
Look at that. Look at that. You know, Tommy and I formed that bottom.
Look, all I'm going to say is on point with the fucking my ladies play, 100%. Excuse my language, but on point with the my ladies play. I said you guys were on point with my ladies play. Yeah.
They were on point.
Definitely. Look at that.
It, man.
I will admit that like, bottom with our blood, sweat, and tears.
They did snipe it, but
and it was literally the bottom. Like
no, they did. They called it out too, dude. Like they called it out. They called it out in the Discord, and I stubbornly didn't buy it because I didn't want to. But no, they did, man. You guys are up a bunch on that. It kills me to it kills me, but it's fine.
It's somebody was asking about levels on Doge. What's your thoughts on that? I know you were talking on that this morning.
Let me go back.
Elaborate on
Yeah, take Mac.
To Doge. Guys, we got 40 people watching this stream, and we only got 14 likes. Guys, I need at least 20 likes on this stream. I know you guys can do it. You guys always come through. If you could just take one moment real quick, help us hit 20 likes, that would be absolutely amazing. And we're going to talk about Doge. Doge is kind of a fundamental play at the end of the day, which is it's a really funny thing to say out loud. Yeah, let's move over to Doge, man. All right. Okay, I posted this last night in our Discord. This is Elon's profile right now. This is the Doge logo. Like he's trying to make it look like, XD could be like a smile or whatever, but that's the Doge logo. That's custom, man. That's custom. So this chart, I mean, if you just look at it holistically, you call this, demand. We survived. This demand zone held up through the Luna collapse, through the FTX collapse, through multiple insolvencies from centralized exchanges and lending protocols. I mean, this is this is concrete right here. We're going to put that 40. That is concrete. Actually, concrete's kind of gray, so we're going to make that gray. This is concrete. So I look at this and I go, all right, what's the inherent risk? Like Doge is basically, this concrete wall has survived more or less every major catastrophe so far. And it's sitting here. And again, this is kind of like a normie trend line, right? Like you make fun of me, it's fine. It just happens to work a lot in crypto where you see this price compression where the floor is holding and we're seeing, basically the asks getting pushed down and pushed down and pushed down. And eventually you kind of start to see this coil and this breakout. So I'm looking at this and on the lower time frame. So right, my fundamental confluence is we know that Elon Musk has kind of leaked and toyed with the fact that you'll be able to tip people for Twitter Spaces. And they're going to be incorporating a payment rail into Twitter, whether that's crypto, whether it's US dollars, time will tell. I'm willing to take a gamble that it's probably going to be like, at least you have the optionality to tip in Doge, and Doge kind of becomes the internet payment rail of the X Everything app, or, we'll see what he has for it, but he's got it in his logo, or I'm sorry, he's got it in his location. He's got the Doge logo right there. Price has basically been holding this concrete wall literally through hell, hasn't broke yet. I don't think this is a play for high leverage perps necessarily, but then we move down to the lower time frames. Let's look at the 6 hour. It's holding trend. We broke out again of this huge diagonal right here. And I'm looking at it going, we are one Elon Musk tweet away announcing that you can tip people in Doge or, something from this thing just literally 2xing in a 15-minute candle. The last time I played Doge was right here. This was leading up to when he bought Twitter. This pump was when he closed on Twitter. This was my setup. I was speculating that if Elon could I bought it like right here. I bought it a little bit early. I didn't even have a stop. I just bought spot. I was literally like, I am not selling this thing. Like, I'm just going to sell on the pump. I don't care what happens, because I knew he was going to get to the closing table on Twitter, man. I was seeing all the signs. He got to the closing table. I bought a bunch of Doge right in here. It was just DCAing like crazy. Unloaded the entire thing right here. That was the last time I played Doge. And I think this next pump, when he actually comes through with that speculation and Doge actually becomes a payment rail and you can tip people in Doge and send Doge, and it suddenly everybody has like a Doge compatible wallet built into their X profile. Dude, forget about it. Like, you're gonna, this is a you sell into, right? Like, it's gonna go up here to 20 cents, or 30 cents, and you sell into it. But in my opinion, I don't think there's a ton of downside risk here, given that we are sitting on concrete, as we've talked about. So there's not a ton of downside risk if you're just holding spot. I don't think it's gonna really go much lower. I don't think much could take it, a ton lower. And I think it's potentially like, a 3-to-1. Like, if you wanted to put a stop on here, why does it do that? If you wanted to put a stop on here, you could potentially do something like this, and just put below the concrete wall and literally target like 35 cents or something. But
Are
anyways,
you
yeah, that's my thoughts with Doge, man.
arguably too, like your squeeze point there is great. I like how you said that your asks are getting crushed and your bids are getting crushed, and that's what causes your coil up. A lot of people don't understand that. That's why you get higher lows and lower highs. That's what we call a coil position, right? Your coil tends to move one direction or the other, and I think we're in that breakout position. Honestly, like I think if you drew a line around 17 there, Max, if you could just draw a straight horizontal, nope, I would come down more. So I think there's a bid area there that's very obvious, and it's down more.
This is at 17 right here, Will.
Okay, go down a little more then. Sorry, maybe like 15. Right there.
This is
See that zone right
13.
there? Yeah. See
This
those
is
double
13
wicks
to
right
16,
there?
right? Yeah.
That's where I think your money shot's at. I think your money shot is right there. And if you're going to break out from there, yes, you have potential for upside. There's a lot of resistance there. So I think if you hit that though and you reject there, you could form lower lows, right? That could cause enough bounce to create enough momentum to go deeper. If they want
I agree, but do you think? I mean, dude, if Elon implements Doge as a payment rail for X, which is extreme speculation, obviously, but if he did, I don't think Doge to $1 is a meme, man. I think it would do it, man.
I was looking
we
into
got
it.
to
I think
what? We got to 80 cents almost off of a SNL skit. Like,
I want to say I don't want to misspeak on the inflationary aspect of Doge, but I was looking at like 100 million or something like that per day, or like 100,000 per day.
Inflationary.
It is very
Highly
inflationary, extremely inflation. It's the most inflationary in the space out of most of them. So you've got to eat that inflation on top of the buying pressure, on top of the selling pressure, right?
But again,
So
I don't care about the inflation. I care about the pumpability. That's literally all this is.
No, 100%. I don't look at inflation as a negative. I look at it as a potential resistance, right, to your price action. That's the way I take it.
Okay. Hang on. I'm seeing here that Dogecoin has diminished inflation rate because it has a yearly fixed issuance of 5 billion coins. This means that each year the rate of inflation decreases comparative to the total supply in a very predictable way, making Dogecoin the perfect candidate to be used as a currency. That's from Dogecoin.com.
Can you go back?
Inflationary currencies, as long as it's relatively tamed, and I'm not talking like quintupling of the supply on an annualized basis. Dude, they increased the amount of US dollars in circulation by 100% over a 2-year period. If they can do that, I'm not really worried about, the Doge inflation rate, at least at this point. Just
5 billion a year. That's all I'm saying.
That's a lot. Let me find the Doge
and I don't even think Dogecoin.com is even related to Dogecoin. There's so many things that like people made about Dogecoin and tried to relate them. Because the actual person who created Dogecoin created it as a meme. They pretty much abandoned it, and there is no operators for Dogecoin. It's actually hilarious. But yeah, it has potential, right? There's just going to be a lot of pressure.
You want your currency to have inflation. You don't want a deflationary currency unless you are
Ethereum's deflationary.
No, I know, but I'm saying to be used as a wide form of currency, you want like a 1% to 2% inflation rate. Like you don't.
Inflation it incentivizes investing, right? But who's going to invest Dogecoin? And when I say invest, you're going to go and you're going to take your Dogecoin, you're going to stake it somewhere, and you're going to try and get residuals on your Dogecoin.
I don't think you can even stake it, but
that's what I'm saying.
I'm holding a spot bag just in case Elon pumps me to the moon, man. I mean, dude, what's the downside? Like,
no. I'm not saying zero, so I'm not saying don't take the play. I think the play is there. I'm just saying there's potential for rejection in that higher range, right? That's more or less what I'm saying.
What at 13?
No, you're for sure right. Like there's always potential for rejection. I just think that at this point, it doesn't hurt to have just like a little bit of exposure to it. Just because if you do get that tweet or that announcement, I mean, forget about it, man. You're not going to buy in then. No way.
No. It's going to $1, man. If that happens,
Yeah.
I swear to God.
100%. So
Like,
does
why
anybody
would
see
you?
the real quick? Does anybody see the inverse head and shoulders on ARB? You didn't hear that from me,
Arb.
of course. Yeah, Wabi's the one who told me. He's Super Bowl and ARB.
Yeah, I see it. It just kind of looks like a chop range, though, man. I don't know.
Higher time frame, bro. Going weekly.
I mean,
draw neck.
Hang on. Let me just pop this on mine. Well, that's I don't know if I call that
Draw
an
neck,
inverse
bro.
head and shoulders.
Draw neck.
No, I see what you're talking
I'm
about.
telling you.
I see.
That's a stretch, Will.
Right.
That's a stretch, man.
Yeah, that's a big.
Hold on.
Let me try to help you, Will.
Let me give you the thesis here. All right, let me give you the thesis. Look over here at March of 23.
I'm gonna make it real clean.
Go to March.
March. Okay, March. Where's March? Yeah. Okay.
So
I'm
if
in
you were to
March.
draw
Guys,
all the way across,
we are sitting at 19 likes. We got 30 people watching. We got to get to 20 likes, guys. It just has to happen. We just need one more like from you guys.
One of those likes is me, also, guys. So come on now. All right. What are you saying?
actually,
Will?
you know what? Let me share this. Because you're not representing correctly. Okay.
Buckle up, man.
You're not representing it correctly. All right, Will. Let's see it.
All right. Here we go. So, obviously, right? Golden pocket. It's where we're sitting. Over here, if you look straight across, test. And if you were to take this and you were to run it, and hey, everybody mean me on the freaking DJI, and what happened? It broke out, and it did exactly what it was supposed to.
Dude, no one memed you on the DJI.
No one. Yeah, I didn't meme you. I said it looks good.
You.
Red. Look.
Who memed you?
No one. Who memed you? I didn't
on
meme
CT
you.
Twitter.
Oh.
Well, okay,
I love that you
Right.
say CT Twitter, man. It's so good.
Crypto Twitter.
Yeah.
Look, yeah, they're stock experts on crypto Twitter. But yeah, so this is what I'm saying, man. Look, you got the test right there, right? You got the same resistance. You came up, look, you tested lower here, you tested higher here on top of it, right? So you touched, rejected, came down, came back up, touched, came back down, retesting your left shoulder low, right? And now you're bouncing. I'm telling you. Look. I know you guys want to fade it, guys. Look, Max had to turn off his screen.
Max had to turn his camera
No,
off.
I just sneezed, man. That's why. I didn't want to sneeze into the mic.
Max,
He's like, I don't want to hit the
man.
buy button live on camera.
I mean, it doesn't look bad. And here's the thing. I care. No offense. I care less about the head and shoulders and more just that I think it's going to be a runner next cycle. So if you provide me with a pattern that fits my innate bias towards wanting to pack this bag for next cycle, good enough for me, man. That's fine.
I'm just saying, man. Look, remember how long DJI sat there and grinded?
That was a painful one, but it did work.
Yeah, it was.
It did work.
It took forever, and ARB could do the same thing. It can sit here and just do nothing for a while.
I'm still torn on the ARB OP argument. Like I've heard so many opinions on it. Like
I'm telling. Look,
I don't even know what to think anymore.
I'm not even. Look, Wabi will say different, but go look at TVL, go look at development, and tell me which one's doing more. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. And I can tell you.
So you're saying you like
by
ARB.
far is destroying OP on TVL and many other things. I know I'm gonna get some hate for that. I'm gonna get some hate for it, but it is what it is, right? I'm never going to come in here and try and BS
I haven't even looked at them that in depth.
Yeah,
I've just heard
so,
people
and for the audience, if
fighting
you want to know
about
what TVL is TVL's true value locked. So if big money or institutions are interested in an asset, what they're going to do is they're going to lock money onto that asset, right? Well, how do they do that? They stake, and what do they do with staking? Staking is how you reflect true value locked. So ARB arguably has a lot of TVL. It has a ton of just institutions locking liquidity onto their platform, and if it were to rug, those people would get destroyed. Right. So they obviously have to have some kind of confidence to have that much TVL in ARB. This is why Ethereum's TVL is so high.
No. I know what TVL is. I think it's total value lock, by the way. We'll just
total value lock. But I don't know why I always say true, but no, the point that I wanted to get to though is, and I was trying to tell the audience so they understand why we talk about TVL so much.
For sure.
I wish they would have. I was going to say I wish they would have some kind of way of telling how long TVL is locked, like some kind of like this much is locked for this many years, this much is locked for this many months. Because if you could see that, that would be massive, right?
Okay,
but
wait,
I feel like
Will. So you said I got to write this down. So you said time of TVL.
Yeah. Showing the lock period for all TVL.
I know why you're right. No,
man, Max, man.
It's big, right?
Yeah, well, we got to talk to you about something, man. This is gonna get Will excited. We'll fill Will in on it, man.
Oh, we'll fill you in, Will. We got big things coming, man. These people don't even know.
Yeah, that's the one thing that DeFi Llama lacks is they lack the ability of transparency, and transparency is how long is that liquidity allowed for.
Facts, because that does matter. Like if everything gets unstaked in a week, it's like that means a lot less than if it's like a 2-year lock. So for sure.
Yeah.
All right, man. What else you guys see?
I was gonna say some things, but I don't know what you guys are gonna come at me with, so I don't want to throw out my ideas with that whole situation.
Oh, so well, we're gonna that'll be off. That'll be off stream. That'll be off stream.
Yeah.
Trust. Yeah.
Will.
Yeah, man. There it is.
This would be epic. This would be so epic. Like,
bro, they're not trying to trap, but they're not trying to trap bears. I keep telling you, they're trying to trap bulls, which means the momentum's got to keep playing.
I think, dude,
you gotta trap the bulls.
People are trapped above 30K, man. People are trapped.
Will, man.
I mean,
everybody.
I think most of them have peaked by now. If that,
all the bulls buying right in here, man. All of them trapped. Everybody that bought in this disgustingly drawn little channel, trap zone, right there, man. They're all trapped. You could be right. Maybe they need more trap. I don't know. I just want this out of the way, man. There's also confluence here too.
It's all about patience, man.
CME gap right there, man. Like just tag this. It's the last unmitigated one right beneath us. Let's get rid of this. This doesn't do anything for us. Fill that. Here, I'll put this fractal on here now.
Let me give the audience a bit of reality. All right.
Reality rather than my fiction, Will. Is that what you're saying? The market, it asks, okay? It asks for patience. It looks at you in the face and it demands patience. It stares into your eyes in a very intimate fashion. And you have a deep candlelit conversation with wine and foie gras in a wood cabin, and you speak with Bitcoin.
And if you don't have patience, the market will humble you very fast.
Bro,
and this is why, like, but here's the thing, Max. This is why every time when you come to me and you're like, man, you're just unmoved. I'm unmoved because the market demands that. I follow the market.
Every time I come to Will's Outlook and we're sitting in front of his fire at his log cabin, Barry White playing in the background, wine, champagne, and we're just staring at a Bitcoin chart. He's unshakable, man. He's unshakable. We sit there all night just staring at the Bitcoin chart. This man doesn't
Speaking to it softly.
Yeah, no, we whisper. You know, it's a sensitive asset, man.
Do you guys remember the pullback at 24.8 when my stop was sitting at 24.5?
Yeah.
And you're like, aren't you worried about your stop? And I'm like, no, I'm not worried about my stop because
you were worried about your stop. Don't even front.
You were worried about his stop,
bro. Oh man, I was good.
You were worried.
If I was worried, I would have closed it.
Dude, you were good, but you were like, dude, I got recordings of that, man. You were not happy that day. Like you didn't get stopped, but you were really relieved that you didn't get stopped. All right. You were cool.
Okay,
you were good, but
I was cool about it. Yeah. I was just kind of like,
you were definitely
cool as a cucumber, Will.
Will, as you should be, right? If you're worried about your stop loss, then you're overexposed. So there's no reason for you to be upset about it, you know? But like you were thinking, man, I heard 25K come out of your mouth. You're like, if we break down here, if I get stopped, we're going to 25K. That's a bummer, you know? I could be wrong. But you weren't worried about it because you're a good investor. You don't overexpose yourself. You keep your risk profile tight. And you whispered a Bitcoin in front of a candlelit, candlelit dinner in a log cabin. Whisper sweet nothings to you. Pillow talk with Bitcoin. It's no big deal.
Just whisper go up while I'm looking at the chart.
Please go up, Bitcoin.
Please.
Will, what are you going to do if we go down here, man? If we do this, what are you going to do?
I'm going to get fucking knocked out of my position. It's going to suck.
That would be unfortunate.
Will you wear a t-shirt that says it's over permanently on this show?
You got to change your background at least.
If it does not win. Look, I already got the best background out there. Actually, this one right here.
That is a good one. I'll give you that, man.
Next time we see a crypto founder on Forbes, man, just that's it. Get out.
That's
done.
The fade.
It's over.
FTX on the stadium. Bro, what happened to FTX Stadium since they had to liquidate everything?
Yeah, man, what happened?
The arena? What'd they rename it to?
I don't even know.
Ooh, I
know you can't chart culture or whatever, but this is kind of clean.
It is, but why don't you go and throw Casp up there in the same way?
Someone's cat okay?
Caspa's coming back to 2 cents. There's nothing you can do about it. Can you hear that? Can you guys hear that?
Just a faintly.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And look, here's what's going to happen. The same thing that happened with Rollbit is going to happen with OX. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get the top of this channel, man. There's going to be like a short-term exit liquidity event, something like this.
That's gonna be Caspa too. Caspa's literally the same position, same curling position.
Dude, why does Caspa look like Bitcoin at 69K right now? Oh gosh.
It does. It deviated.
You see that?
Yeah. I think it's gonna hold support though. I don't think it's gonna pull a Bitcoin here, but hey, could be wrong.
I don't know. I don't chart it too much. I did this like quickly in a
if you put it on the weekly or the monthly and then just like draw a channel across it, you're gonna skip the middle.
Okay, yes, but I can't shake that 69K Bitcoin out of my head.
All right, we'll just pretend it doesn't exist right now.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Let's go higher time frame though. I guess we can go there. That's fine.
I mean, it's not perfect, right? But it's pretty close.
No. Go bottom to high. Like there you go. That time frame works better. See your high is kind of a lot better, and you just need to angle your bottom a little more. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Look where you're sitting.
Yeah, I mean that's really clean, right? I mean, if we did something like this, you know.
Yep. That's the expectation. That's why I said we're going to like 20 cents. 25 cents. Because the way it's charting out right now, it definitely looks like it wants to continue to run.
Okay, yes.
Look at
This
your
is
lows there on the trend. Your lows on the trend right there, tap 3 times on the low. You got your single tap, then you got your consolidation tap, and then you got another single tap before you moved. On the trend.
okay, yes. No, this is certainly possible. Like I'm very bullish on Caspa, just to be clear. Should we be impartial and do the bearish scenario now?
Yeah. I would think it'd be bottom of that trend.
We'll save this, man. We'll save this as the bull scenario, man. Bull scenario. Let's do a bear one right now, man. Let's go down to the daily.
Yeah, there's just so much structure there, though. Like it's just higher highs and higher lows. I don't even know how you could even like really get a bearish thesis from this.
I mean, your bearish thesis is that you're in one giant range right now, and it's going to turn out to be an accumulation phase. Range theory would suggest that a deviation to one side of a range is more often than not met with a symmetrical deviation to the downside of the range. So, I mean, you'd have to see something pretty nasty, right? But it wouldn't be impossible to imagine, coming back to retest this. I mean, this is concrete wall right here. This is
you're not going any deeper than that. Yeah.
No, I mean, this is concrete right here, so the thought would be if we're in a giant range.
I mean arguably range
high, range low.
You got a good amount of consolidation below that range, though. That's kind of my biggest thing that's throwing me off there. All that consolidation on the left there, before you kind of deviated to the lower portion of the left side there. It's almost like so all your consolidation over here from April to May, and then you got all that consolidation from July to August, right? So this is your consolidation area. That's a lot of liquidity sitting below there, holding that up as support. But if you did break back into that range, arguably you would fail all the way back down to that low end range where you have at that 50, right? And then if you broke that 50, you could easily deviate low. But like you got to take that move one step at a time, more or less.
Yeah, I mean, look, something like Caspa too. It's never had a bull market before. So it's like, what's the case for it going down? I mean, I think you just have to see you'd have to see the entire crypto asset class bleed tremendously. You'd have to see probably like a FUD campaign, truthfully.
Bro, some of those projects are going to zero if that's the case.
For sure. I think Caspa was a good one. Like I'm very excited about Caspa, but like, I think just maybe like up here buying is, again, it's potential. Like, you don't even have to come down here, right? Like you could even just come back and like, dude, you could dilly dally around here, like you could come back here. There's plenty of inefficiencies that, need to get tagged if we're going to approach it from like a technical perspective. Like this is a nice level right here. Look at this.
Can you go back to trend again real quick?
The bull channel?
Pull that channel. Yeah. Pull that channel up again real quick. What's the low end range of that channel as opposed to your pullbacks? Yeah, I mean, look, if you were to roll back right now, you could easily tap that blue line and still be in channel.
Yeah, a little wick down there, something like that.
Yep.
And here we'll even bring it up a little bit, something like that.
Yeah. Even if you were to catch the higher range, man.
It's not even bad. Like it's fine.
But arguably though, if this thing is as bullish as it appears, then you're near the low. It's as bullish as it appears in that channel. Now, I would never advocate people to play channels per se at the highs, right? But like your low end was your triple tap at the low there, and I think people should have entered there. Now you're kind of you've already missed the move.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Channels always break, but
I think I
don't know. I
posted
would
this
just.
at 025.
I'm not a buyer up here. They can make me regret that for sure, but I can't unsee the range. And by the way, that doesn't mean we don't have to go down here or anything like that. There's no reason we have to. This is mega demand right here. So if we came back to this, that would ultimately be.
That'd be a bid.
I
100%
mean,
be a
that'd
bid.
be a huge bid. Like, it doesn't get much better than this mega demand here. We did technically, like, after we broke out, we already came back, but sometimes you're fortunate enough to get a second entry. If that happened, man, like, forget
Not
about
only
it.
is that a bid max, that would arguably probably create some kind of parabolic move, right? The momentum from that hit as soon as they hit that
For sure.
liquidity area. But yeah, I mean, like, I think a lot of people when they see this, they focus on your low range. They don't understand that as traders, we take this from one level to the next level to the next level, right? We're following the trend up or down, which means that our first range that we would even look at would be our mid range, right? If we were to break down, that would arguably be where we would be looking to bid or look for another breakdown or failure. And then we would be looking at the deviation low. Not that we're just targeting the deviation low when we're at all-time highs. I just want to point that out for the audience because I think a lot of non-trader people a lot of the time get into this mindset that when you're talking bearish, you're speaking of the lowest possible price point. It's never going to go there, is what they say, right? But never say never, right? I mean, a lot of people say lightning never strikes twice in the same area, but I can show you tons of instances where it has.
You can, Will. You can.
I mean, how about those people that get struck by lightning like 8 times in their life or something like that? There's those people. But look, I mean, here's an unbiased look at it, right? Like, you drop below this level, your range high, and reclaim it. I mean, you could for sure blast off. We're kind of in like a low key like megaphone pattern or something like that. I don't know. It's not a perfect channel, but I mean, look, you just
What
got
we
to
call
market up
that,
your level.
Max?
It might be somewhat dependent on Bitcoin, even though it hasn't had a cycle yet and it's been kind of a participant in like this on-chain frenzy sort of summer or whatever. I would say if Bitcoin breaks down, and you see Bitcoin down at 25K, I can guarantee you like some of that contagion is going to spread over to Caspa and things on-chain that we've all been playing. Like nothing is safe from that. So, Bitcoin goes to 25K, you're probably going to see Caspa at 2.5 cents. Bitcoin goes to 22K, you're going to see mega demand retest, and that's where we ape. That's where we ape.
Ozzy on the chat threw in Doge is the Joe's Pizza of crypto. I'm gonna put it up there.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He really is not.
It's funny.
If you really think about it.
No, he's not. This is funny. He knows the joke.
Soylana.
Man.
All right, boys. You guys gonna continue running? I gotta run, but
we're gonna actually call it here, guys. Thank you so much for being here today. Happy CPI Day. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you haven't yet, please consider liking the video and also subscribing. We run this show Market Check every single day, Monday through Friday. We usually have Tommy on here and then sometimes King Wabi as well. Always really fun discussion. So guys, thanks so much for spending your Thursday morning with us, or I guess maybe afternoon if you're in Europe. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. And also, if you want to trade with us and get to know us on a more intimate level, we also do have some premium offerings down in the description below. We've got a really kick-ass Discord. We've been absolutely killing it. In the past like 3-4 months in there, everybody's just been printing. So yeah, if you want to trade with us, we share all of our positions in that Discord right when we take them. So if you want to know in real time how we're positioning and be able to ask us questions about how we are positioning and actually, dive a little bit deeper than we go on the show, believe it or not. We take a little bit more of a granular approach. That's probably something that you would be interested in. We are offering some free trials of that as well. So if you enjoyed the show, if you really enjoyed it, yeah, Robert's in there, man. Yeah, Robert77, one of our OG members, man. Robert is an absolute beast, such a good dude. Supported us from like day one. Robert can confirm, so thanks, Robert. Appreciate you, man. But yeah, guys, thanks so much again for being here. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.
Thanks, guys.